Hello everyone. Today we are going to be redoing Sonic Blast. The last time I did this was September, not September. It was in 2023. We played as Sonic then. Let's play as Knuckles this time. I don't know if there's any significant gameplay differences, but what I do know is we have to find the special stage by finding a giant ring in the stage, and what that means is in certain spots of the level there's a giant ring. By certain spots I mean like one, and what we have to do is find it and we can enter the special stage. But the first act, it doesn't matter, since the first act, if you do find that ring, all they do is give you an extra life. But in Act 2, that's when they are actually able to give you the emerald that you want. That being said, let us find this giant ring. The only thing that doesn't help is the screen crunch that is in this game. I don't know what that does. I slow him down, it's not working. Now, when we get into these stages, we have to get 50 rings. If we don't get 50 rings, well, we fail. And all we do is go forward. Doesn't help that this is not the best system to actually play a game that's in 3D or has 3D elements. Because I can't tell if I need to go in the air or not. We're at 33, we need 17 more. Alright, obviously since it's the first area that has the emerald, they are not going to make it difficult on us. And we have the emerald, now let's get out of here. Now, this is regarded as one of the worst Game Gear games ever made for the Sonic franchise, which, I mean, you see what we have here compared to what we played previously. But even so, I think this is the last Game Gear game that they ever made for the Sonic franchise. So, yeah. And also, this game's 30 years old now, because it came out in 1996 if you saw the beginning of our episode. So, yeah. I still will never understand what those symbols mean. Notice there's an Act 3 in most of the... I think every single Game Gear game pretty much that was like this had... what you call it? What is that thing I'm thinking about right now? 3 acts. And now we are going to be in desert, whatever it's called. It's called desert something. Yellow Desert. as stated before, we're just gonna be rushing to the end with the first act. I'm trying to use spin dash, that's why it keeps looking like I'm stopping. Only been 5 minutes and we're already in the second world. Now Act 2. Now Act 2 is a certain gimmick you have to do whenever you get to a certain spot of this area, of this world, zone, sorry. And if we don't do that certain thing, well, we won't be able to get the emerald that we are trying to get. Ow. Let's touch this marker now. Whenever we get out of the stage, as you saw from the first act, I'm gonna say first time we went and got an emerald, they go by the last checkpoint slash check mark or whatever they call it in this game that you touched. But if you didn't touch one, you have to go through the whole level again after getting the emerald. I think we're in the area that we need to worry about it. There we go. Let's get these 50 rings and not get hit at by anything. That was not ideal, I shouldn't have jumped there. At 34, hopefully they're a little nice with them. Alright, that's the second one. Now let's just rush to the end. I like how this game is one of the few games where if you get hit, you don't lose all your rings, though. Is that an extra life? I don't know. Alright, Act 3, let's get out of here. Get to the next area, wherever that next area is called. Five, 6, 7, one more. We hit them 8 times, so how am I supposed to feel about this? So was that 12 times we had to hit them? Alright. We are now in don't know level. Oh, Red Volcano. Okay. I need to find out a way to play Sonic CD. So I can start moving on to something else, like the adventure era. The era I really grew up with. I'm just trying to get out of here at this point. How does that not count as you getting hurt? That's wild. That does count as an extra life. Okay. I didn't know. I was like, does that count as extra life? Yes, it does. Alright. We have to find a giant ring in this stage. Since we're playing as Knuckles, we can do certain things that we couldn't do with Sonic, like what we just did there. And that happens way more often than it needs to be said. There, you saw where it's at, so you know we got to go up there. See, with Knuckles, if that enemy respawns, we can jump on it. I think it does, I'm not sure. I hope it does. It does, okay, good. We already know what we have to do. We have to find a way to jump on top of it and get up here. Alright, this is the third emerald. So far, so good. I like how this one and the last one I got exactly 55, but the first one I got 58. Alright, Act 3. Yeah, you didn't think that through, did you? Too far for us to glide, so... That's some Ninja Gaiden action right there, even though this is not in the same genre in any instance, except for the fact that one's a platformer. Well, both of them are, depends on which version of Ninja Gaiden we're talking about. The beat-em-up genre that came out in the arcades, or the one that everybody pretty much played. That means we get nothing. Yay, yes. Alright, let's do this. What's the war fail? Why is it gated? Why is there a closed gate behind us? Do we have to go back that way? Well, that's something. So what's to our left? Some more rings. Alright. Can I stop doing that, please? I guess I can't stop doing that. All I have to do is just jump on here, jump. But I keep double tapping. There, I didn't do it that time. Well, we got rings. So we don't have to worry about the boss. It's not like the first 3 games. Or should I say the first 2 games where you literally have to do a damageless. Even though they have been making these enemies a lot, these bosses way easier. I don't even know what to make of this. Yeah, what do you want me to do there? Point stance, what do you want me to do there? Great, now I have no rings. But it didn't matter, we still won. Didn't matter, we still won. What's this next level? Blue Marine Zone, we're in the water. Oh, great. I already know what a ring is. The only thing that sucks is facial life. The only thing that sucks is the fact that to get to that ring, we have to be underwater to even get it. That's where they put the location. Come on now. I had no control over that. Literally had no control over that. Can we go back to Labyrinth Zone from the first game? No, I mean the Game Gear version, not the Genesis version. That was Labyrinth Zone. That was water level done right. In the game, at least for the Game Gear. Oh my lord. Yeah, you can't go that way, you have to go right. So. Go too far to the left, you get sucked back in and repeat the process. Love it. Yeah, it makes you wonder, how are we not drowning? This has to be the right pipe. I guess whenever you go through these pipes, it resets your counter. It has to be, because you should have drowned by now. We're not touching that one. That was just give us an extra life. We don't care about lives. There's no extra lives. We have 5 of them. We'll be alright. And just the way we literally came from. They should call this freaking getting moss on. How you not die? Oh, is it cut? Okay, I see what they do. You have rings, you don't die until you run out of rings. I think that's how they did this. Right in, slide off. This is a drag, I won't lie. There. Oh, we're done, thankfully. What does that mean? Did they give us 2 extra lives for that? Well, let's find out. Alright, so if it's a regular Sonic plate, it is a 1-up for Sonic, 30 rings for Knuckles. Same thing with if it's Knuckles for Sonic. Emerald means to continue. Super Sonic means a 1-up and 30 rings. The ring plate means 10 rings, and then the Eggman symbol gives us nothing. So, Super Sonic one gave us a 1-up and 30 rings. I guess it add to our total, because we don't have 30 rings right now, so. Alright, what we need to do is find the big ring in this level. The good thing is I know where it's at. The bad thing is oh, the bad thing. It's underwater, that's one thing, and the other thing, you have to do something in order to even have access to it. Until we get to the checkpoint, I don't know where I'm at. Can find a pipe, we will literally be able to breathe. That's how it works for some reason. And as you can see, your ring counter goes down fast if you're drowning. So no matter what, we have to go this way. That helps. Another thing is, most people don't have anything memorized from this game since, not many people played this game compared to the prequels. This was late into the Game Gear's lineup. In 1996, they were already making games for the next system. And unfortunately, this is Sega's only handheld device from the 90s that I can think of off the top of my head, besides Nomad. But the Nomad was basically a portable Genesis, so. We'll go through this too, just to reset everything again. It's easy to get lost in this level, I will say that. So we have to go up there, okay. Find a way to the left side of that, yeah. Oh boy, this is gonna be a fun jump that we have to make. This pipe is resetting our air timer, so I don't have to really worry about air if I'm going every time if I get stuck going in there every time. Fortunately, we keep losing rings from an enemy that we can't literally avoid. Yeah, I told you this jump gonna suck. Looking like I might have to spin dash there. See what happens if I spin dash. Absolutely nothing. But the thing is, I don't know if you can automatically glide as soon as you land. I don't think you can. And that sucks. Mm-hmm. Alright, we made it. Finally. Alright, Pipe, reset our timer. Alright. This is the area where the checkpoint is. I'm gonna say the giant ring is. What we have to do is between this and the other side of where we have to go, there's a secret wall that we have to go to that will make it so we have access to the giant ring that you see before you right here. Those doors are closed due to the fact that we have to find that little button we have to press. I mean, unfortunately, we have to actually earn it all the way to get it. Instead of having to find it randomly like we had the previous times. Well, you're gonna die, so... Alright, so far so good. Jump up here, get up there. Get up there. No. Okay, now you saw that the giant ring is there. Don't tell me this resets everything I just did. I think we messed up. That's the longest invincibility frames I ever seen. And this is reminding me of when I first attempted to get this emerald way back when, and this is the one that took me forever with Sonic. For the same reason, we have to do these real jumps, and of course, now we have to restart from the beginning. I don't think we have to go through a pipe at all to get to that, so... Thank you for the air reset. I needed that. Don't tell me you can't climb on that. I'm about to say. Press this button. And I'll just go back to the left. And we now have access to that room. Just gotta jump on top of this and then jump up to the ring, and now we can do this special stage that I might fail. I was going so fast I thought they were gonna pull a fast one on me, where they make them go in the air. Alright, 54, that's different. But at least we got it. And now we have one more stage to get the emerald, which will be in silver something. That's all I know the name of, silver. I don't know the rest of the name, it just knows it has silver in the title. Now let's get out of here. Dodge you. Look over you. Now let's go down. That's not where I have to go. This is the path that takes you to the emerald. I have to go the other way. Okay. I am trying to spin dash. That's why it looks like I'm jumping in place. When he falls like that, I have no access to the control. So. How long is this level? Yeah, we don't even have to pay attention to that time. It must be longer than I thought since we touched another checkpoint. That's the way we came from, so... Please tell me there's a tube, please tell me there's a tube somewhere. Let's go! Alright, more rings and we're about to be done with this stage, thankfully. Oh my lord, this stage is very confusing. No. Thought I was gonna get sent way back. This is not that much of a setback. Thought it was gonna be way worse than that. Okay. So that tells me what I have to do. And that gave us a nice amount of rings. Yeah, there ain't much of a time bonus after that. Shouldn't be. Act 3. Please, don't put the boss underwater. That's all I ask. I don't remember if it's underwater or not, but I remember doing that demo though. That's not a good start. Okay. Okay. It is on the water. Could've just did what you did back in the first game. Just give us infinite water. Could've just did what you did in the first game where he gave us infinite breathing. In that game, it was 5 years younger than this. Older than this. That game is 5 years older, and it did the underwater boss better than this. There, that's enough rings. Let's go. Okay. Uh-huh. I wish that counted. Glad that counted, though. At least they didn't go the lazy route and make him just flip instead of, you know, gradually turn. They could have did that. Several castles on. Let's just get out of here so we can get to the actual main course. It was good to not be on the water, though. Did that just basically reset the room? Yes, it did. Alright, we got some coins, rings. Alright, Act 2. Where's the ring? You have to go a certain route just to get to it. Starting off great. Get a ring. How do you not grab a ring in that situation? We need to go the top route. So you see this right here? This is where we go. Make sure you hook right. Come over here, go through this teleporter, and just go to your left and you'll be right here. Right after this jump. Alright, last emerald, let's do this. It's going horribly. We don't get it. Now the question is, can we even redo it? I don't want to grab a ring. Do we get another attempt at this? Please say yes. No, we don't get another attempt at this. They did us wrong on that note. Alright then. Be right back then. Just want to point out, I had to redo the whole game. Up to this point. Just want to say that. Yeah. Looking like we might have to redo this again. Yay! Depends on how this goes. If you don't have this one memorized, you can't beat this first try. I need 8 more. And that's why I did that, because I'm like, if you don't have that memorized, you lose. And remember, if you do not grab that, if you do not finish this, you have to do the whole entire game all over again. I should know. I even lost enough lives where I used to continue, right? But they didn't reset that, despite me using the continue. So I was like, I have to play the whole game again? Okay. And here we are. Now I got my 50, so we don't have to do no more special stages. So, let's get to the end now. We're gonna pretend nothing happened between the last time y'all saw anything to now. Cool, glad we agree. Just get to the end of this stage. That's all we have to do. I like how I'm basically going back to where I was just at. But this is where the path is. I don't know how they expect you to make that jump without getting hit. Okay. I wish you could go in here. Wow. So this is a short level. Shorter than the last level, where if you didn't know what you were doing in the last level, you would be in a puzzle. Anyway, let's go. Deal with this boss. I don't know what that score said. me. I love how they put some of these enemies in the most BS areas. Searing in the spree punch. So we have to jump over there. Okay. Nice to know that. That's my first attempt. You have to jump over there. Guess I didn't put it over a bottomless pit. I pressed jump, he didn't jump. That's the story of my life right now. I pressed jump, he didn't. So screw it, we're just gonna glide there. Or we can miss it. Alright, cool. We're doing great right now. I love how he goes just fast enough where you can't really jump the way you want to jump. And those enemies are annoying because you can't jump and attack them. So you can't just roll into them. You have to literally jump attack them. Because of those spikes that it has around its body. Alright, we should recharge this again. You see why I say it's in the most BS place. No matter what, if I try to climb back up there, guess what? I get hit again. Now we can actually make some progress. Or not, alright, cool. Unless I'm supposed to go a certain way from here, I don't know what we did wrong. Because no matter what I do, I go back here. What that does is just allow us to be able to get that ring, right? The ring box, right? Yes. So what do we do after that? This just takes you back to where we started. Is this where we're supposed to go? Yes. Oh, I see what we have to do. Okay. Okay. Nope. I wonder when you have access to this thing moving. Did you just fake out and then fail to fake out? There we go. Jeez, that sucked. And now we get to deal with this annoying boss again. That's how you do it. It's annoying. Yeah, at least you can still carry. At least they gave you enough rings to deal with this. But it's very annoying to try to time it to jump over. Invincibility made that one easy. Alright, one more hit I think. I'm not sure, honestly. You better grab that ring because you're gonna need it. I don't know how that didn't count as him hitting me, but I'll take it. And there you go. Okay, we still got the ring, okay. How many more hits do you need? Well, we lose here. Never mind. Okay, we clutch it up and still win. Alright. That was the first try. And we did this a lot faster, well, somewhat faster than our original. But we're doing this time with Knuckles, so will the ending be different or will it be the same? Either way, once the credits are done rolling, that's the end of this episode. I hope you enjoy and I hope you have a wonderful day or night. Goodbye, most of all, take care and be safe.